What's up, people? We need to talk about AOC. Now, for those of you that don't know, which I'm sure most, if not all of you do know, AOC stands for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You know, a woman who represents one of the poorest districts in New York and is also a flaming hyper-progressive person. And it's just so mind-numbing, and it makes it really, really hard for me to sympathize with progressives because of people like her and the rest of the squad. And I'm going to tell you why. There is a TikTok video floating around that she just did talking about the US border. You know, the last time she went, all she did was a little photo op where she goes up to the fence and acts like she's crying. It was a fucking empty parking lot. She wouldn't be caught dead 10 feet from that fence with all the illegals that would be there, right? Again, keep in mind, she has a lot of money. One of the poorest districts in New York. But they keep voting for her, so it is what it is. You get what you vote for, right? Anyway, she has this video that she did on TikTok talking about the border crisis, and we're going to watch this together. And I'm going to try and not lose my mind during this whole thing. I hope you're ready for this, because I just watch the video.
So often people want to say, why aren't you talking about the border crisis? Or why aren't you talking about it in this way? Well, we're talking about it. They just don't like how we're talking about it. Because it's not a border crisis.
It's a border crisis. This is what I talked about in my last video about the gaslighting. It is a crisis. For Texas, for Arizona, for New Mexico, for California, for any state that is along the US-Mexico border, it is a crisis. Now, since they've started gaslighting with all this shit, I have watched many live streams of people going down to the border to see it for themselves. I don't know what else you would call it, but we're going to see what she calls it.
It's an imperialism crisis, it's a climate crisis, it's a trade crisis. This is not a surge.
It's a surge.
These are children.
A very small minority are children.
And they are not insurgents.
No, they're illegal.
And we are not being invaded.
I agree with that. I wouldn't call it invasion, but it is a problem.
Which, by the way, is a white supremacist idea, philosophy.
So she wants to blame white supremacy, right? All right, let's get one thing straight. I'm half Mexican. My mother is Mexican. My grandfather is Colombian. My grandmother is Mexican. My grandfather and my grandmother both immigrated to the United States. My grandfather was in the army. My grandfather fought in Vietnam. My grandmother came over with her family. Legally. They did it the right way. And what these people are doing is essentially fucking the people that are actually going through the process of becoming US citizens. Now, going back to this video with AOC spouting her crazy bullshit with her fucking cocaine eyes or whatever you want to call them, you can use all the buzzwords that you want. It doesn't change reality. And the news will show you children all day long. You know, AOC will be like, oh, it's just children and wives. It is not a majority children and women and families. It is young, middle-aged, younger, 20-year-old guys. That is the overwhelming majority that are crossing over. And it used to be, you know, when you heard about this, it was like, oh, well, they're hiring smugglers, coyotes, and they're going through the cartels to get smuggled across, you know, tunnels, this and the other. They're climbing the fence. They are literally walking across. Swimming, technically. They go on one side, they get in the river, they go across the river, they come out on the other side, they go through the barbed wire, somebody picks them up. where they're taken, I mean, people have shown some of these camps where they're taking them to be processed and then shipped off wherever the hell they want. The reason places like Chicago and New York and all these other cities that said they were sanctuary cities are bitching about what Greg Abbott is doing by shipping them up there is because for the longest time, these cities were going, oh no, we'd take them, right? We'll take care of them. You people are rights, like AOC said, you people are racist and bigots and you just don't want illegals here. You hate people. No, the problem is that you technically have a duty once these people are on U.S. soil to take care of them, right? Either send them back, feed them, clothe them, give them jobs, and that's all well and good in a perfect society, but you can't do that when there's thousands of people coming across every single day. Where are the resources going to come from? They're going to come from you, from the government, from your taxes. The AOC doesn't give a fuck. Why would she? Right? It doesn't bother her. It has nothing to do with her. She's in the upper class. Those people, she's staying up in her condo somewhere in New York or wherever she lives, looking down, haha, you peasants, you all have to take care of them now. Right? And this has been happening, and this is why it pisses me the fuck off when they sit there and try and gaslight you like this to make it seem like you're the bad person. When in reality, they're bad. They're the bad ones. They're enabling this. You're not fixing the problem. You're not solving anything. You're just calling people names and downplaying something that is an actual problem. And I'm going to show you. We're going to get out of this. If you go to Google, here's what Google wants to show you, right? Oh, here's kids crying, right? Over here, you got women, right? Here's another one. Kids, here, right? Here, kids, more kids. Down here, kids, right? Over here, kids, right? Yes, there are women and children coming all the way down from Venezuela, El Salvador, Guatemala, all these South American countries coming up all the way. Now, the fact of the matter is the reason you see in some of these videos, I think Bald and Bankrupt did one where he went from the Darien Gap all the way up to Mexico to come into the U.S., basically take the route that an illegal migrant would take. The reason all those people, when they're crossing through Mexico, all the Mexicans are throwing stuff up to them and helping them, is because the Mexicans don't want them there. The Mexicans are going, yeah, no, sure, go, take them. You know, here you go, don't stop here, just keep going. All these other countries that they pass through are saying, nope, just keep going, keep moving, keep it pushing. Because they don't want to take care of them. Why? Because it is a drain on resources. The people are the ones who bear the burden of it. Not the government, the people. And by the people, I mean the citizens of that country. In this case, us, right? So again, all this stuff, you know, they want you to see, you know, children, this, that, and the other. But here's the reality of it. This right here is the reality of it. Right? Let me find another one, see if I can find something showing how many of these are just, it's mainly dudes. I think Ricky Gervais even made a joke about that not too long ago, or in his Netflix special. He's talking about, women and children first. Oh, wait, there are none? Oh, okay. You know, they want to gaslight you. So there's the Google search of border illegal crossing, right? I probably could have worded that better. But now let's look at some footage. No, I'm talking about actual footage. We're going to look at this one here. Mainly men. All that men. Men. One woman. And I don't even know if she's a migrant or not. I guess she is. But again, men, young men, middle-aged men, and a few women, some kids, right? Here's another crossing. This is in Arizona. Let's look at it here. In fact, I'll even make it a little bit bigger. Mainly men, young men. Why? Look, you can see them. Oh, there's a couple women, maybe right here and right there. Men, all men. Not even Mexicans. In fact, it's a mixture. Now you have less Mexicans coming in. Now it's mainly from, like I said, Venezuela, Guatemala. Then you have people coming from Haiti. You have people coming from the Middle East. You have people coming from Africa. You have people coming from China. All these people are coming down and up to the border. Still looking at men. All men. All men. One woman. Let's see. Let's keep going. Men. Nothing but dudes. More guys. Here's some more. More guys. Where are the kids at? Where's all these kids that they keep saying that there's, primarily families? Where are the kids? Nothing but guys. Still guys. All men up until this lady over here by the sign. Let's see if he got any. Let's see if he has any more. Here's another view. This is farther along. This was a live stream. That's 13 minutes in. All men. Men. Young guys. Men. Couple women this time. Can't tell. I know that this whole group over here is dudes. Right? Let me see if I can pull this. This is very loud.
It's imperative, guys. That
turn it up a tiny little bit without screwing this up. But you see them on the other side. So you have the Rio Grande is right there. On the other side, you have Mexico, obviously. And then when you have Border Patrol agents on this side, where the barbed wire is, right? This view, they're just walking. Then they come over. They come through the fence. They come through the fence, right here. You can see where there's clothes and stuff where they've come through. They're sitting over there waiting. Usually they wait until Border Patrol goes away. Of course, Border Patrol comes back. But then they just cross the river, right? And they come through the fence. They come through over here.
There we go, guys.
There's illegals right there. In this case, they have a child. But think about it. If this is happening 24/7, right? For months at a time, what do you think the overwhelming majority is going to be? And I can promise you it's not women and children and families. It's not. Now, the Democrats don't give a shit. The Democrats want them to come over because the Democrats are going, you know what? Bring them. Come on, let's go. Why? Cheap labor. Right? Cheap labor. Period. No matter how much people like AOC want to sit there and lie to you and tell you it's all because you're white supremacists and you're bigots and you don't care about migrants or people or anybody else but yourselves, they want cheap labor. That's it. So, seeing shit like that little fucking video that AOC decided to put out to moral frog about how you people are the bad people, because you don't want the illegals to come here. There's a reason countries have strict laws against immigration, especially against illegal immigration. Because you do it the right way. Then you're documented. Then you're a citizen. Then they know who you are. If anybody just walks over, you could literally have a terrorist walk across, plant a bomb on your house, blow it up, but they'd still be pointing at, oh, but what about the women and children over there? What about them? You gotta help them. But what about my house? This guy just blew my house up. Oh, no. They're oppressed. They're an oppressed people. They're seeking asylum. And it would be disingenuous to say that some of them aren't seeking asylum. They are, especially the ones from Venezuela, are seeking asylum, I would say, in my opinion, because Venezuela is a shit country that has gone to shit and continues to be shit, and nobody wants to live there. So where are they going to go? They're going to go to the one place where there's a possibility of them getting a job, this, that, and the other. But you do it the right way. You wait in line just like everybody else. You don't just walk across. You don't climb over a fence. You don't climb through a barbed wire fence. You don't cross the river. You don't go in a cave on one side and come out the other like fucking Wile E. Coyote. You do it the right way. And I guarantee you, if progressives and Democrats were pushing for this to be done the right way, nobody would care. And people would actually support it. But the methods that they're pushing don't work. The methods where they sit there and they gaslight you and tell you that it's not happening when you can fucking see it right in front of you don't work. Because all you do is piss off people like me. Again, I would consider myself a moderate, but I don't like being lied to. Especially by politicians that make way more fucking money than I do, telling me not to believe my own eyes. So, yeah, there you have it. There's another political video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, fuck AOC and her fucking TikTok.